We are doing the best of series a little bit differently this time. All of these best of recipes were chosen by you. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. So back in 2020, Christmas was on a Friday and I upload videos on Fridays, and I did a subscriber favorites video then. I didn't do one last year in 2021, but I thought I would bring it back this year. So I took to my community post and just put on there, hey, let me know what was your favorite recipe that you found on my channel in 2022. And you guys came through with so many good recipes that you found here on my channel and that your family loves now. There was a very clear winner, but we're gonna go through and I'm going to share with you several of the recipes that you guys voted for. And then tonight we are going to make the winner recipe again here at our house. And I'm gonna bring you along for that as well. So thank you so much for taking the time to vote, taking the time to watch my videos. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here each and every week, leaving sweet comments, letting me know when you tried a recipe and whether you liked it or you didn't. And I just love that conversation in our comment section. Without further ado, let's jump into the best of Subbie edition. After looking through all of the comments and trying to tally them all up, not only by the comments, but by the number of likes on that particular comment as well, I believe coming in at number 5, we have the stromboli. From what I could tell, this one had at least 5 votes. I may have missed 1 or 2, and then I think there were some thumbs up in there too, but I saw it mentioned, I think, 5 times. A few of the comments that I received about it, this one is from Mary Vargas, and she said, hey Mandy, I've tried a lot of your recipes, but my family really enjoys the stromboli and the crispy chicken tenders. But there's many more. You've really helped me a lot. Now I can cook new recipes every week. So thank you, Mary Vargas from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you, Mary. I'm so glad that y'all love that recipe. Tammy says the stromboli recipe has been a favorite since you showed it on your channel. I took 2 to a Christmas party last week and it got rave reviews and there was none left to bring home. That's always the case in my house. There's no leftovers. And then Marcy says, hands down, the stromboli recipe. My family loves it so much that we make it 2 to 3 times a month. Marcy, I want to come to your house 2 to 3 times a month. Okay, thanks. So let's see the stromboli recipe. If you remember, I struggled with the pizza dough on this one. Bless my heart. That's all I can say. Okay, we're gonna start out by preheating the oven to 375. Okay, the only prep work I need to do is just crack 1 egg and beat it. And then I also need to melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay, I just washed my countertop just to make sure it is good because we are gonna roll out the dough here on the countertop. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour all over our surface here. This is gonna end up on me and I'm wearing black. It's happening. I'm gonna be covered in it. I have aprons, I just rarely wear them. Okay, so I was talking to Amber earlier. She told me to go ahead and take it out of the fridge and open up the bag and just kind of let it sit on the countertop for a while. So I did. It's been sitting out for about an hour. I'm gonna get it out of here. Just getting it out of the bag is proving to be fun. This is gonna be interesting. There we go. I'm just here for your entertainment, folks. Y'all know I'm not a baker. Here we are. Okay. It's not too sticky, actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Let me get my rolling pin, and it says that we want to try and get this to be about 12 inches by 14 inches. So we want a long rectangle. Let's see how this goes. It just wants to go back into, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. What in the world? If this ain't comedy, I'm about to call Amber. How am I gonna make this 12 inches? Oh my gosh. We're about to call Pizza Hut. Domino's. I'm serious right now. How do you make this go out and stay out? This is comical. We need a rectangle. Right now we have a triangle. I know my shapes, I do. But this pizza dough does not know its shape. Oven's ready. I'm still over here messing with the stupid dough. Why is it shaped like a bell? Okay, y'all, you can't make this stuff up. This is as good as it's gonna get. This is pretty good. I don't know what happened here. I can't fix it. Won't go back. So good luck and Godspeed. Now, moving on. I'm mixing about a tablespoon of minced garlic with a tablespoon of butter, and we're just gonna spread this all over our pizza dough. I thought this was just gonna be so quick and easy. Here I am 20 minutes later still trying to figure out how to roll out the pizza dough. Now I'm gonna take my mozzarella cheese and just sprinkle about maybe a half a cup on right now. Not too much. Gracie is over here. She is very aware of what is going on. You want some cheese? Okay. There you go. Yeah. On top of our mozzarella, I'm gonna go in with some ham. Okay, we're leaving a little bit on this side, like it's kind of clear here, and you want to leave a little bit on the around the edges as well, a little bit of space. You don't want to close it all the way up. You can close it all the way up over here. This is the side we're gonna roll first. This is the seam side. Okay, on top of our ham, we're gonna go in with just a little more mozzarella cheese. Now I'm going in with salami. And finally, as far as the meat goes, our pepperoni. We're gonna top it with the remaining cheese. I think the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of mozzarella. This is 2 cups. We'll probably just use it all just because. Gracie Lou, you want another piece of cheese? Now I've got my egg that I beat. I am just going to brush this on the exposed edges. So the 2 short sides and then the 1 long side that's gonna be our seam side. Now, we're gonna roll this up jelly roll style. Wish me luck. I'm gonna come over here to this side and start carefully rolling it pretty tightly. Okay, once you get it going initially, it's not too bad. Okay, that's not horrible. I'm pretty proud of myself. I mean, it started out a little rocky. We can all agree on that. But, ta-da. Okay, I am going to bring it over to my baking sheet. I did spray it with nonstick spray. We want the seam side down. So I'm just kind of pinching my edges together. This has worked out perfectly. It fits the exact size of my baking dish. I've got 2 remaining tablespoons of melted butter. To that, you're either gonna add some Italian seasoning and garlic powder, or in my case, I'm just gonna use this Mr. Sticks steakhouse seasoning because it's garlic and herb, so that's perfect. And then I'm also going to add some Parmesan cheese to that. Let's just mix that around. Let's brush this all over the top. This smells so good. Okay, before we put it into the oven, you do wanna cut slits in it with a serrated knife. I've got my Minced knife here. Every 2 inches or so. This is going in a 375-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Ma'am, tell them you got cheese. Oh, there's evidence right there. See, I got cheese, guys. I did. I've been a good girl today, and I got lots of cheese.
I'm ready.
He is so excited. He's been jumping around. I wish I could have seen.
I'm gonna do a little bit of this marinara. Marinara.
We have a coal sighting with a nod. That means it's good.
Oh man. Wow. Pizza night. Without the pizza. I guess it's Italian night.
There you go. I mean, it's got pizza dough. I really hate that you missed me and they're trying to stretch out that pizza dough. You'll just have to watch it on the video. Ma'am. Well, I'm going to dig in. We've got the Caesar salad here on the side. I will tell you, you want to wait about 5 minutes before you cut into it. You take it out of the oven and then wait 5 minutes and then cut into it. But we've got our Rao's dipping sauce here. I've got a cat begging. Okay, I'm gonna dig in. Y'all, I'm very impressed. Cole said it was worth it, meaning the trouble that I had in there with the pizza dough. Yes, it was worth it. 100% it was worth it. This is delicious. It is so rich and flavorful. This would be great to serve at a party. Oh man, we are happy people.
This is good.
Okay, for 4th and 3rd place, these were tied both with 6 votes that I could tell. The next recipe I'm going to share with you are the Korean beef tacos. The YouTube account Life Happens commented and said the Korean inspired tacos. I do add teriyaki sauce to the marinade and a lot of red pepper flakes. I love the spicy hot and slightly sweet contrast. LOL. Otherwise, I make it the same. I love when you tell me how you've made a recipe more to your liking. Cooking is so personal. It is personal preference. Just following a recipe all of the time would get kind of boring and you would never really get to make it your own. So I love that you can take a recipe and tweak it. So I love that you were able to add the teriyaki and the red pepper flakes. That's cool. And then Brianne Hill says, thank you for asking this question because I told you earlier I needed some more dinner ideas for this week. So I'm using the ones that people love and the answers given here. That's a very smart idea. So if you guys want to see all of the things that people love over the last year, just go check out this community post and you'll get lots of ideas. As for my family, probably the Korean beef tacos. The slaw on top was so good. I know that we loved that recipe. Was that recipe a Subbie supper? Either way, it's a delicious one. Here you go. I'm going to take y'all back in time to last night when we were marinating the chuck roast. I'm going to show you that and then you'll jump back in and we will cook it in the Instant Pot today. Welcome back to the 3rd meal that I'm making today. You'll see the rest of this tomorrow, but we are marinating this overnight. I'm really excited about it. So we showed you that we had the chuck roast. We went ahead and put it in this large gallon size bag, and I'm just gonna start adding all of my ingredients for the marinade directly in here. I've got a cup of soy sauce. I'm using the low sodium soy sauce. I've got a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic, a tablespoon of ginger paste. I've got 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame seed oil. Oh, I said oil. Are you proud of me? Trying to be all fancy. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. The recipe called for a tablespoon of chili flakes. I'm using a half a tablespoon because I didn't want to overdo it for mine and Cole's sake. Stephen would have gone for the whole tablespoon, I'm sure. Okay, the very last ingredient that we need to do is this pear. It says unpeeled, but we're gonna grate this pear in our little cheese grater over here. I just think it'll work really well. So we've got this pear and we're just gonna grate it. I've never tried grating a pear before. Look at that. Okay, I'm just coming in here and just mashing this up really well, which is very easy to do. Pears are so soft. Okay, so let's add our grated pear into the marinade. That's it. Let's close it up and kind of mash it all together. And we'll just stick this in the fridge overnight. I think she said you want to marinate for at least 4 hours, but you could also do overnight, so that just sounded like a great idea to me. That's it, folks. It's going in the fridge overnight. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, y'all, so it has been marinating all night long and it smells so good. Here, take a whiff. So what we're gonna do is take the entire contents of all of this and just dump it directly into our Instant Pot, and we're gonna pressure cook it on high for 40 minutes. Okay, we've only got about 15 more minutes until this is done. So we're gonna make kind of our Asian slaw to go on top of our tacos. So let me show you our ingredients. She said you'll need an Asian salad mix. She said she prefers Taylor Farms, I think is the brand, but my grocery store did not have it. Some sriracha and some mayonnaise, and y'all know I'm gonna use Duke's. Okay, so let's dump our salad mix in here. We're only gonna use about half of this dressing that comes in there. Now we need about a tablespoon of sriracha sauce. And about a half a cup of mayo. Okay, let's just mix this up. Okay, it's done. You can either allow it to naturally release, or you can do a quick release, which is what we're gonna do because we hungry. I wish y'all could smell this house. It smells so good. Okay, I was going to attempt and shred this in the Instant Pot, but although it's very tender, it's hard to do in the Instant Pot because you know this twirls around the entire time. So we just pulled it out and we will put it back in there to soak up the juices here in just a second. Okay, over here in the microwave, I have these really large burrito size tortillas. She said to use the fajita size, and I would have, but we already had these on hand and I didn't want to waste them, and we weren't going to use them otherwise. So I'm going to heat these up really quickly. Okay, so we shredded it and cut it. Some of it was able to really easily shred, and then other pieces was, I don't want to say tough, but it wasn't as easily shreddable. But we got it all chopped up. Now we're gonna put it back over into this yummy sauce.
I'm excited. All right, here we go.
So it's very large burrito tortilla there, but I've already tasted it. Just a heads up, y'all, it's good.
That's mind-blowing. Wow. Oh yes, spicy,
Yes.
bold,
Yes.
rich. There's just so much going on here. I mean, obviously the flavor of the meat is overwhelming. Like it's just
bold.
It's really bold. It's in your face. It's,
yes.
And then with the spicy mayo Asian
Slaw.
that just, I mean, like there's just so many different little flavors going on there. You got the difference in texture because of the slaw, the crunch, and then the spicy mayo, and but that beef is just incredible. Very reminiscent of the Korean barbecue bulgogi, I guess you could say is what they call it.
Yep.
It's really good.
So this is something that you want me to make again? Mm-hmm. 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 Thank you, Tia, for sending this. I know I said I already tasted it. I did. I tasted it when I was plating it up. I haven't had mine yet. So I'm excited to have it with the Asian slaw with it. So let me give that a shot and then I'll come back. Don't be surprised if you see this in a favorites video for next quarter. Oh my goodness. This is phenomenal. Steven said if you don't like, or if you like bland food, you would definitely not like this. This has so much flavor. It's ridiculous. So good. This is so much fun. I love going through all of these comments. But coming in at number 3, number 4, also with 6 comments and then some thumbs up there too, is the Instant Pot Killer White Chicken Chili. One comment from YouTube account Cranky Crew said that the Instant Pot killer white chicken chili or that brown rice you make. I do want to say that brown rice, my mama's brown rice, got a lot of votes, but I feel like I've shared that so much here on my channel that I didn't want to include it here, but I will link the recipe below on my website. If you're ever looking for a recipe, not all of the recipes I've ever made are there, but a lot of them are. Go to mandyinthemaking.com/recipes and it will take you to all of the recipes. And then this next comment I loved. It came from Nia Hill, even though it was under her husband's, they have like a joint YouTube account, Jeffrey Hill. The killer white chicken chili has become a staple for us. I've made it for friends and have been asked to bring it to parties. I haven't found one person that doesn't love it, and I constantly get asked for the recipe. On another note, I want to thank you so much for all you do. You literally have taught me to cook the last year and a half. We hardly eat out anymore, and we enjoy the food we eat so much more. I love watching you and your husband together. What an awesome couple you are. My husband and I share an account, which is why it says Jeff, but I'm Nia. Nia, thank you so much. I am so happy. That is the point of my videos. I'm so glad that they're entertaining and that y'all love watching us in the kitchen. But the point is to show you that you don't have to be trained in the kitchen. You can just get in there and cook for your family, and you can cook really great meals using regular ingredients. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, and your family can love it. So without any further ado, let's check out the Instant Pot Killer White Chicken Chili. Before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my Instant Pot to saute and let that be heating up. Our Instant Pot says that it's hot. We're gonna drop in a couple of tablespoons of butter and let that melt. I did want to mention I am cutting this recipe in half, so I'm not going to give you all the exact measurements because some of them are kind of weird because I've cut it in half. But if you're looking for the recipe, it's always linked in the description box below, right below the video. Now I'm going to add in my celery and my onion. And we're going to saute this for just about 3 or 4 minutes just to kind of soften it up. Now we're going to add in our seasonings. In here I've got some oregano, some white pepper, some salt, garlic powder, cumin, and smoked paprika. Now I'm gonna pour in my water. I've got 2.5 cups here. And I'm just gonna scrape the bottom just to make sure. I don't think anything is sticking, but you never wanna have anything sticking on the bottom of your Instant Pot because you'll get that burn notice. I'm gonna add in about a tablespoon of this Better Than Bouillon chicken base. And we're gonna go ahead and hit cancel. Now, I have some navy beans that I did an overnight soak on. I will go back here and show you how I did that. But these are drained and ready to go. So I'm gonna add these in. And I'm adding in boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I've got about 1 pound here. And again, I'm halving everything. Okay, we're gonna use a button I've never used, and that's our soup button. And we're gonna set it to 12 minutes. There we go. Okay, it just finished. We're gonna let it slow release for 10 minutes and then we'll release the rest of the pressure. So I'm gonna wait for this to count up. So it's been counting down. If you're not familiar with Instant Pot, it counted down from 12 down to 0, and now it's gonna count up. I'm gonna let it count up to 10. And once that's done, we'll be ready to add in some more ingredients. Okay, now I'm gonna remove our chicken and we're gonna shred it. I'm just gonna pull it over here to this cutting board. It's falling apart as I'm pulling it out of the Instant Pot, which is always a good sign. I was gonna grab a fork and a knife, but I don't need it. Now we're gonna add this back to our chili. It's Steven's favorite ingredient. It's only 4 ounces.
I think it's gonna be okay though, because this thing has some really potent herbs and spices in there.
I just wanted to chop this up just because it's been sitting out. It's pretty softened already, but just to make it a little bit easier to melt down in there. So let's add in this cream cheese and let that start to melt. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's add in a can of Rotel. The full recipe calls for a full can, so I'm only gonna do about half of it. Gonna add in a cup of salsa verde.
Oh boy, that is looking good.
And lastly, we're gonna add in about a can of corn. I always just use frozen corn. This has been sitting out at room temperature for a while now too. It's not frozen anymore, but it's definitely gonna cool it down. So I'm gonna turn this back over to saute just to start to heat it up really good. Let's just let that warm through and then dinner is ready.
Yes, I'm excited. White chicken chili.
So we love white chicken chili. We got to see if this is the winner of all the ones that we've ever tried, because
see how it's not gonna be. It's gotta be.
It's the smell is amazing.
That is amazing.
Is it?
That's unlike anything you've ever tasted.
Really?
Yeah. You haven't had anything like this yet.
Oh, I'm excited.
It is like on a whole different galaxy.
Whole different galaxy.
It's a
Y'all heard it here.
It's a whole different galaxy away from regular
White chicken chili
that you get in the little package.
Yeah.
No. Don't ever buy that again. I mean, it's not like spicy hot, but it's just different, kind of a fiery flavor to it.
Okay.
And then the salsa verde gives it a little punch. And then
probably that rotel too.
Yeah, the rotel gives it some of that.
And then that chicken is just super tender. Okay, well, I can't wait any longer. Let's do it. So last night I said it was the best taco salad I've ever had. Hands down, the best white chicken chili I've ever had. Like, I feel like this could win a contest. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it has cream cheese in it.
I mean, it makes it really creamy, the stew.
Yeah.
It gives it more of that creamy.
It's not a whole lot of cream cheese. I mean, it's 4 ounces. So
not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it's still a little soupy, but the consistency is right where you want it to be.
Yeah, the recipe mentioned that if you wanted to thicken it up even more, you could throw some cornstarch in there and turn it back over to saute, but I feel like it's the perfect consistency. It's not too thick, but it's not completely soupy either. Y'all, the flavors on this are just on point. Steven said just a second ago, a lot of times we'll talk about, like, if there's anything we think we could change or whatever. He said, this literally needs nothing done to it. It is perfection. So
Don't change it.
Don't change it. Just make it. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I feel like it wasn't an original recipe to this year, and not all of these may have been from 2022. It's just that y'all discovered it in 2022, and that works fine. But I know I've talked about these meatloaves a lot. I even did a YouTube short and an Instagram reel where I made the barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. They are mini, so they're like individual sizes, which is great. So Amanda Craddock, I'm probably saying that wrong, Amanda, says the barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. I don't like regular meatloaf, and this is so delicious. I've heard that several times, that people who don't like meatloaf love these. And then Dana says, my husband and I like them all, but hands down, the best was the barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. They are such a family favorite, and fun fact, they are also a great freezer meal. I've never thought to put those in the freezer. That's really smart. So here's the barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. Okay, I'm just gonna let these cool, and then I will crumble these and I'll put them in a little container and put them in the fridge until I'm ready to cook tonight. So the recipe calls for just regular cheddar cheese. We still have this half a block of Colby Jack cheese, so I'm just gonna use this. So I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. This is 85% lean. I'm gonna add in our 2 eggs. 6 ounces of chili sauce, so half of this bottle. Our bacon that I've cooked and crumbled up. 1.5 cups of cheese. It calls for sharp cheddar. This is Colby Jack. 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 2 tablespoons of the Dub sauce, Worcestershire. When I overthink it, I can't say it. 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, a teaspoon of minced garlic, and 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. Now we're gonna make 8 small loaves. Let's see how this goes. I gotta portion these out right. Now we need just about a half a cup of barbecue sauce. I'm just going to use what I have on hand. I'm going to pour a little bit on each one and then I'm going to brush it out. I've got my oven preheated to 425. We're going to put these in at 25 minutes and then after the timer goes off, I'm going to turn it over to broil for like 2 to 3 minutes.
So I'm excited because this is the second time that we're having a meatloaf-like dish within about a week. And I love meatloaf. So
try it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
I got it. All right, first of all, you gotta, if it's good meatloaf, it's gotta cut a certain way, right? Look at that. Oh man, it's like butter.
This.
Oh boy. It's so soft.
Cole is so excited he can't contain himself.
Man, that's good. There's just so much here. I mean, the barbecue sauce, the bacon. You definitely get the barbecue sauce. You most certainly get the smokiness of the bacon, and then the Worcestershire sauce is definitely coming through as well. I mean, it is like, these are some really bold flavors in this meatloaf.
Yeah, that sauce will be there and you'll be eating and then you'll get some of that sauce and it just...
Yeah, it's really bold. Exactly.
I love you.
I love the texture of it. The texture is very reminiscent of what we had
the other day.
You know,
I think it's that cheese because both of these had cheese in them.
I think you're right. It's the cheese, the egg.
Yeah.
And then you use breadcrumbs to hold together. It's tremendous.
Well, I'm so excited. I need to eat. I'll be back. So, we've had 2 phenomenal meatloaves in the course of a week. The guys cannot get over this one. Like, look at their plates. Yeah. Y'all, this is so good. That smoky flavor comes out in it. And I love that this is faster than cooking a traditional meatloaf because traditional meatloaf takes around an hour, maybe a little bit more, just depending on how large it is. But since these are so small, it only took 30 minutes. It was great.
Man, that's good. You're gonna try this. I'm serious. This is really good.
And then tonight I am making this recipe because we love it too and it's so easy to make. But the clear winner with at least 21 votes, it could be more, were the Mongolian beef noodles. But here's just a couple of comments. So this one is from Laura. She says, we love the ground beef Mongolian noodles. We don't go out for Chinese anymore. We prefer to make it at home. Yes. Cheyenne says, ground beef Mongolian noodles are amazing. Everyone asks for the recipe. Killer white chicken chili, also, she's making that for Christmas, is good too. So I'm so happy that the 2 that you voted for, Cheyenne, are in the top 5. This recipe is so simple, it's so quick, it comes together so fast, and the flavor just, it is powerful. So let's make that for dinner. Okay, to get started, I am heating both of these. We are going to cook our linguine noodles here. separately, and then we'll drain them and add them into the ground beef mixture, the Mongolian beef mixture over here. So we're gonna start out over here, medium-high heat to a large skillet that has kind of the high sides. All right, so we're gonna put in 1 pound of ground beef. This is lean ground beef. Can I help you?
Sir, may I help you? This is gonna be good.
It's going to be taste good.
Some of that Mongolian beef noodles.
That's right. You coming in here to supervise or just salivate? Which one?
Sometimes I like watching you just do that right there.
Okay, well.
Really nice.
Well, there we go.
It's very satisfying.
Is it?
It is.
It'd be even more satisfying if you did it and I went and sat on the couch.
I mean, I could do that, but that would require work, and so, yeah.
So you're out?
I'm out like a rainbow trout.
You need about 10 ounces of your pasta. I'm using linguine, so I won't use this entire box. But the directions do say, don't add salt to your water like you normally would. We're adding a lot of salt over here, even though I'm using low sodium things. You just don't need the extra salt here in the pasta water. I drained my beef. I got most of the fat off of there. We're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of soy sauce, but this is low sodium soy sauce. Got about 1/2 cup of beef broth, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. This part is optional, but we have some crushed red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna put in about a 1/2 teaspoon. One thing I forgot to do a little earlier was put in my garlic. The recipe calls for 6 cloves of garlic, so do not be shy with your garlic. And the recipe calls for ginger paste. It actually says minced ginger, but I always just use ginger paste. You need 4 teaspoons of that. So I've got all of that in there. Let's stir this to combine, and it's come up to a simmer, which is great. Our pasta is almost done, so I'm gonna drain it here in just a second. Let's let that garlic and that ginger really infuse in there, since I forgot to do that at the end of it cooking. So basically, once your ground beef is almost done, you wanna add in your garlic and ginger, and then you can put the rest of the stuff in. This has come back up to a simmer. Let's add in about 4 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. Now, I'm gonna let this return to a simmer, and let's go mix our cornstarch. Got a tablespoon of cornstarch here. We're gonna add a couple of tablespoons of water to it. Ma'am, no. No, it's not for you. It's not for you, babe. Yeah. Oh, you just gotta check to make sure. I know. So I added in the couple of tablespoons of water. We're just gonna dissolve that. Okay, so let's add our cornstarch water in and let it come back up to a boil, and it's gonna thicken this up. And we're about to drain our noodles, and we'll add those in. Okay, so this is thickened a little bit. It's not too thick, which is great. Now we're just gonna toss in our drained pasta. This meal comes together in like 20 minutes. And y'all, the flavors, they're just out of this world.
I'm so excited right now. I'm beside myself.
I think I just saw him drool a little bit. All right, let's eat.
Let's do it. This is the best day ever. This meal is so delicious and yummy.
It is.
Oh, wow. That flavor is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very rich. A little bit of spice, but that flavor of that beef and that sauce is amazing. And it really coats the noodles really well.
Yeah, it does. It hangs on to the noodles, you can tell.
It is incredible.
Y'all, there was a reason why so many of you voted for this one. Ma'am, I'm trying to film. Doodah, what are you doing? Thank y'all so much for voting and participating in this poll. It was a lot of fun to look back through all of these recipes and kind of relive it. And we actually got to relive this one tonight.